Jem, what were you doing 5 years ago?
Whoa, that's a big quizzy.
5 years ago today.
Okay, what timeline are we taking us back to?
Just what were you doing 5 years ago? So how old were your kids? What was your life like?
5 years ago. So Iggy would have been 11 months old.
Baby!
Little bambino.
And then Rafa was 12 months
Ooh,
old.
that was a time that we were deep in the COVID.
Oh,
Yeah. The vid.
I'm like, the video?
Oh no, COVID times.
COVID times,
Yeah,
yes.
I think I was just surviving, not thriving, like at all. I was in my I don't give a fuck about what I wear, what I look, makeup, what? Don't
Yeah.
own any, like really deep in
Never
that
heard
era.
of her, bro.
Yeah, but doing the pod.
Well,
Wait, were we?
No. Happy birthday.
Oh my gosh, I see how you walked me into that,
I
you
did. I
devil.
walked you right. You devil.
You devil.
Happy 5 years of We Don't Have Time for This.
So I think this was the moment that I said to you, hey, now that you're back from Scotland, let's do a podcast.
Want to start a podcast?
And
here
you were
we
like,
are.
yes and. Full body yes and energy. And to think that we gave ourselves a 6-month timeline.
We did.
DLs, we literally said, let's give it 6 months. If we can make it a sustainable income, lol. That didn't happen for years.
Nah.
But
Cute of us, though.
the fabulous champagne problem of it all was that you guys showed up. So then
Yes.
we actually felt too bad to exit the
We're like,
podcast.
there's an audience.
There's
we
a
have
community.
to serve them. And we love you so much for doing that. Happy 5th birthday.
Thanks, Bestie. Happy 5th birthday to you.
I love it because 5 is when you start to come out of the trenches.
Yeah.
You know, you really do.
We talk about that.
Yeah, 5 is like when
The
you're
emergence.
like, I'm actually emerging. My kid's cool. I like them. You know, they're a little less annoying than they were a year ago.
For me, it's the independence by the time they're 5. There's just like you gain seconds back into your day. And I know seconds might seem like crumbs, but when you multiply that,
You get
over
minutes.
time, you get whole minutes for mental real estate for you.
That's it.
Not just the kids, you know?
Happy birthday, us. And happy birthday,
Aw,
DLs.
I'm so glad you brought that to the pod, Revsy, because I'm not good at marking milestones. So
No,
thank
you are
you.
not.
Should we get into the episode?
We should. The 5th birthday episode.
We have 1,000 things to do, but we'd rather chat to you. With emails and meetings and husbands and kids, we don't have time for this. Just what you need, two basic bitches with a podcast.
Hello and welcome to We Don't Have Time for This. I'm your host, Gemma Pranita, aka Gemma Pina, on the gram, along with my co-host,
Kate Reeves.
and
our co-host.
Producer Kate. Happy birthday, everyone.
happy birthday. So, producer Kate, when did you join us? What year and what were you doing and thinking at that time?
I started at the very beginning of 2022. So you had done a year without me.
Yeah, we'd done about a year. We had a year under our belt and we brought KD on because we were like, we need help.
And then you never looked back.
That's true. We didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't. What was happening for you 5 years ago?
I was in the trenches with Chloe.
Yep.
About to be pregnant.
How old was Chloe at that stage?
Chloe was 10 months. My gosh, it was like a lifetime ago, wasn't it?
Yep.
I remember when you were pregnant with Summer, coming into the office with this growing bump.
Well, fun fact, I found out that I was pregnant with Summer the day before I started working for you at the podcast.
And you told us day one.
No, I didn't.
Didn't you?
No, kept it a secret for a good couple months there.
You did?
Yeah.
There goes my memory.
Wow.
I feel like you were pregnant from, maybe I just know that retrospectively that you were pregnant from day one.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, 5 years ago I was married.
Whoa.
Yeah, a lot can happen in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Onwards and upwards.
We always laugh at when we meet DLs at our live shows and they're like, I just discovered your podcast a few months ago, but I've listened to the back catalogue.
I
And
went
Revs is
right
always
back
like,
to the beginning and I'm like, oh no.
oh, yeah.
You've been through it all.
The divorce days.
The divorce days.
But here we are on the
Here we
other
are.
side of it all, Revsy.
Yeah, crazy.
Do you think there'll ever be a time where you two go back and listen?
Never.
I mean, I struggle to listen week to week
Yeah.
to the episodes. I mean, I do, but it's I don't know. It's a bit cringe for me.
I don't know. Sometimes when we have to go and find something for a particular thing, I do get lost in it. You know, like if I go back 2 or 3 years, I'm like, that's a good chat.
I really struggle with we had the conversation and then I'm listening back to the conversation we already had. It's like a drunk friend telling you the same story within minutes of each other.
Not for me, because I have complete amnesia. If it goes on the mic, then it leaves my brain and it's like I forget it ever happened.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's like,
true.
for me, it's like hearing everything for the first time.
Yeah, but we do have that chronic problem as well where we tell each other a story
Yeah.
IRL and then we come to record and we're like, no, we already talked about that. And it's
Yeah.
like, did we?
Who knows?
Did we actually? Or did we talk about it IRL and didn't bring it to the pod? And there are times that stories, I think, never made it into an episode because we thought we already recorded it, but we hadn't.
Anyway, that's how the cookie crumbles here.
Mm-hmm.
And what's happening today, Katie?
Today we have our annual AMA episode.
Ask
Us.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything. And nothing's off the table. We always say that. We try and be as open book as possible.
Now, Katie has curated these questions from the gram. Revsy and I have no idea what is about to hit us.
I have. Are you excited?
There's no prep, DLs.
Nah, let's go.
All right, straight into it. My first question for you both is, was your 20s a hot mess? And what do you think got you through to land in the now?
No, I wouldn't call 20s a hot mess.
Describe your 20s to us, Revsy. Paint the scene.
Well, I was quite single in my 20s and very ambitious. I was just moving through that ladder of like my plan.
Can I just quickly ask for context? When you say 20s, what era of your 20s? Because when you say I was quite single in my 20s, you got married and
when I was
had
26.
a baby
Yeah.
in your 20s. So I'm just trying to...
You got married at 26?
Yeah.
Child bride.
God.
And she
Child
had
bride.
Isla at
29.
29. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I was
Yeah.
thinking about Revs' 20s and that's the first thing that came to mind.
That's so true. And I think about that as my 30s.
isn't
Yeah.
that
But
funny?
When did you meet your ex?
I was 25.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about the first half. I'm thinking 20 to 25.
Okay. Let's split it up. Let's
split
break it up.
because
Pre-Saturn's return
Yes.
and then post-Saturn's
Post.
return.
I was very driven in school, went straight into university, then went straight from university into my postgraduate study, and then from there into theatre. So it was like I was just moving through the plan, you know? I had the blueprint and the plan. I was just like going through head down, very driven, very busy, smoked a lot.
Smoked a lot of weed.
Yeah, I partied, but I partied with nerds. So it wasn't really like, I wasn't like in the club. You know what I mean? It was more like late night jam sesh with a joint.
Dreaming up creative
Dreaming
ideas
up-
and
yeah.
projects.
Yeah, it's being like a bit of a bohemian, more than like a hood rat, you know? And what about you? Similar?
I would say we were quite well-behaved early 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
Not that dissimilar from Revsy. I was pursuing a path and just lucky to be on it. In my 20s, I finished up at drama school, moved back to Sydney from Perth. Revs and I started our theatre company, Cry Havoc. I did some work with the Bell Shakespeare Company and then I booked Neighbours. That was all in my pre-Saturn's return part of my 20s. So I felt on track.
And you had the same boyfriend the whole time.
The whole time because
Yeah.
I'm a serial monogamist.
Yes.
DLs.
So you were in like your we call it the
The
first
first
marriage
marriage.
for most of your all of your 20s.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So let's jump cut to
Wait, Jem.
Oh,
Since
sorry.
you were tied down, did you have any like feelings of wanting to get married or have kids, or like what was your family planning like?
If I'm honest, like he was my future plan.
Yeah, he was.
At the time. Definitely. But it's really interesting being like, we like the term first marriage because I grew and learnt so much from that relationship because I was very much second fiddle in that marriage.
Yeah.
In every way.
He was the main character energy.
He was the main character. And, you know, we've talked on the podcast about being the flower or the gardener in the relationship. And I've come to know thyself.
Yeah.
I am a flower, but in that relationship, I was positioned as a gardener.
Yeah.
And so I played that role, which sat really uncomfortably for me and actually quite inauthentic and misaligned with who I am. But I just did it. And I kind of therapized myself into believing, oh no, this is what we do for someone we love.
Well, I think when you met, you were both flowers. It was like two flowers. And then it just sort of creeped in there like you became the gardener in that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, not by any choosing. And it definitely wasn't how it started.
No.
Yeah, but that's where it
Yeah.
ended.
Yeah, and that's why I think I'm relieved the relationship ended the abrupt way that it did. It was almost forced upon me in a way, which made the decision quite easy. But upon reflection, I do think, oh, what a relief to now exist in the truth of who I am with the right
Dodged a bullet.
person. Yeah, definitely.
100%.
Don't feel that in the moment.
No, of course not.
In the moment, I felt like my whole future had been torched, literally a match taken to everything I visualized and planned and manifested, but for the greater good.
Yeah, 100%.
So, Revsy, now I'm going to jump cut.
Yeah.
Post Saturn's return.
Yeah.
The later stages of your 20s.
Yeah.
Married
With a
bambina.
baby, and none of my friends had kids. And I started a business. So it was like
Ooh.
I was a small business owner, young mom. I felt like I was doing something different to my friends, but I was probably a little bit more isolated than I knew at the time.
Definitely.
Yeah, because it was a big relief when everyone started to join me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't say we were hot messes. I almost feel like we were like, we've had a weird back to front. Like it's like we were too mature too fast, too driven too fast, went out the gates real hot, and then we've kind of found fun again in our late 30s, early 40s,
Yeah.
turning 40. I think we've kind of done it back to front.
Do you think it's fair to say that in our late 20s, like jadedness started to creep in about what we had envisioned for ourselves in high
100%.
school? Like when we think back to little Gem and Revs at
Yeah.
school together and all of our dreams, creative pursuits, ambitions.
Yeah.
I found in my late 20s, I got hit with life sobering me up to like, oh, sometimes your dreams don't come true.
Yeah, sometimes you don't get what you
That's
want.
okay. We just pivot and we do this for a bit. And you know, Revs and I are both rose-colored glasses gals. We can see the best in whatever situation we're in. I think it's our superpower and our weakness.
Yeah, always.
And it got us through. But looking back, again, hate to use this word, but it was actually inauthentic
Yeah.
with who we were at
Totally.
that time.
Yeah.
We were moonlighting as other people and pretending we were fine with it when deep
Absolutely.
in our core we weren't. And that's why the pod has been such a special centerpiece of our lives, because it really is coming home to ourselves.
It's an absolute homecoming.
Yeah.
Alrighty, next question. I need these tips. Strategies for postpartum / trenches rage moments to regulate.
Oh.
What are we doing when we've boiled over and we've exploded like a volcano? How are we preventing that?
You can't prevent it, I don't think. If you prevent it, you're just pushing it down and then it's going to be a bigger volcano, right? I don't know. I've always been fine with a certain level of it, but I'm getting even more comfortable with letting people in my household know I have limits because people have limits and everyone has a different limit. Like my limit's way lower than Gem's, for example. Like you can really hold a lot before you blow.
Definitely.
Yeah, whereas I'm way more irritable. If a lot's being asked of me, but that's just my limit and I can't fake that. I can't change that. Like, and everyone has one. And I think it's really okay for kids and partners and pets and in-laws and all those people to know that you have limits. I think women historically have always had to mask their limit and just smile and get on with it. And I think it's okay as long as you're not like yelling and offend. You know, I really snapped at Ted the other day and I called him a name because he hurt his cousin. Basically, I told him 5 times, stop slamming doors. Someone's fingers are going to get hurt. And then that exact thing happened. And I was so angry because I had said 5 times. And then, you know, little Max's fingers were in the door and I was like, that is so stupid, you know, and I yelled, I don't like that. To like to call people names or anything.
So what do you do next then? What do you do
he
after
was really upset and then I gave it a minute and cooled. I don't know. I walked around and took a breath and then I went to him and said like, I'm sorry. I should not have said that. I was really angry. He goes, I know. We repaired it, you know?
Yeah.
Blow ups aren't that frequent, but I do go, I'm at my limit. I'm at my limit. I will say that. Or
And
I'll
you'll
say I'm
tell them.
overstimulated.
Yeah.
I need a minute. I need a break. Like no one asked me anything for 5 minutes. You know, sometimes I set a timer and say, no one ask anything of me for 5 minutes. If you can do it yourself, do it yourself. What about you?
I remember losing it over a pen mark on the coffee table and Rafa saying, Mummy, it's okay. I'll be able to get it off. And I was like, it's not coming off, Raf. I'm rubbing it and it's not coming off. And she goes, is this a small problem or a big problem?
Big.
And I was like, I want to say it's a big problem, but I also knew it wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in that moment, it just shifted everything on the perspective axis into like, it's just a fucking coffee table, let it go. And then Rafa being Rafa managed to get it off. I don't know what she did. Probably got a baby wipe or something. I was trying to use like water on a paper towel and she got it off. But going back to that Quezzy about regulating your emotions, is it postpartum? was the
Well, the question is postpartum and trenches, but I also liken it to PMS rage.
And then
Okay.
peri and just getting older and like testosterone upping and,
Yeah.
estrogen downing, like cycles. We're women at that stage of life where rage is coming for us.
100p.
Well, I want to speak specifically to postpartum for a second in case we do have DLs who are pregnant with their first. Like, I think.
Good luck.
Well, like anything, you don't know
Yeah.
how you're going to react
Yeah.
and be until you're in it. It's like the classic, I know what kind of parent I'm going to be. My kids are going to sit politely at the dinner table. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like,
Shut your
stop
face.
setting up those expectations. I find myself saying, when my kids are teenagers, I'm never. And then I go, shut up, Jem.
Shut
You
up.
don't know shit. You've got no idea what it's like to be
As soon as you say the word never, that is a clue that you're probably wrong.
full of shit.
Yeah.
I will say I am loving, and Revs and I did not have this in our era, especially having our first kids, but it came in later. There's emphasis on more self-care, the fourth trimester, looking after mum. That was not around in our day. And now it is. So I feel like women have more permission now to be selfish in that fourth trimester and ask for what they need.
Yeah.
I need help. I'm going to call in the village.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell my husband I need a break. I need a weekend away. Whatever it is, I think it's really tuning into that and not ignoring your needs, because that's what we do, right? We put ourselves at the bottom of the to-do list.
It's not even a to-do list, it's a pile. You're at the bottom of the pile. And imagine yourself physically under a pile of things. Like, of course it's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of self-regulation, for me, it's so basic and boring, but like I have to go for a walk.
Yeah.
My other favorite thing is go and sit in my car, even when it's in my
Yeah.
driveway.
Beautiful, love it.
Because it's like a sensory deprivation tank. 100%. I can literally sit in it, lock myself in.
Yep.
I can get so much done in my car, in my driveway. So give that a go.
it.
You could scream in your car.
Yeah.
I don't think people would hear it.
Could scream.
Yeah, just like let it out.
Let it out. I love loops. I have loop
Yes.
earplugs. I love them. And also surprise effect of having a dog. And it's not for everyone, but a dog is a self-regulating tool or a co-regulating tool, sorry. Patting a dog, I don't know, it's like a weighted blanket or something. It's because they breathe and they like breathe with you and you stroking it. It's like sensory. I don't know. It's very nice.
Just back on the loops for a sec. I know we joke that 2026 is the year where we're going to call in Perry in a big way, or blaming it on the Perry. You referenced the fact that I have a higher tolerance or patience. I feel like that is diminishing.
Yeah, it's thinning out.
I am finding myself very short-fused and more irritable at home. And the reality is I'm not in control of that. And I just go, it's okay, Jem, it's just your hormones.
Yeah.
This is a new you.
Yeah.
It's not your fault.
Yeah.
But everything is in the repair, as Rev said.
Yeah.
We get this question all the time. How on earth are you juggling it all? My heroes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Babe, no.
We're definitely not.
Oh my God, we're not. No. It's the thing we say all the time, or that everyone says. You can have it all, you just can't have it all at once. And speaking to the juggling analogy, we always talk about some balls are plastic, some balls are glass. Let the plastic ones drop and look after those glass ones. Kids have to be fed, their teeth need to be brushed.
But kids have to be fed. The plastic ball in that is like it's cereal for dinner.
Yeah,
And
normalize
that's okay.
going through the drive-through or picking up dinner or whatever, like every now and then.
Yeah.
You can't possibly do it all full stop, but don't even start trying to do it all perfectly. You can maybe do 5% of the all perfectly, and then the rest you have to just get done.
Permission for the DLs to breathe out a collective sigh of relief that no one is juggling it all.
No way. And if it looks like that for us, I'm absolutely
Gobsmacked.
gobsmacked because I can't tell you how much wallet mum energy is in this office.
Like we roll into the office every week and there's a different energy depending on how your morning has
and
been.
a different drama every single week for one of us.
I mean, we start work at 9:30 in the office. That's what time we meet.
But
And
one of us is always late and
some-
has had a day
day.
already.
Yeah.
Literally lived a day before the work day begins.
100%.
What do you think of the AI super intelligence taking over humans?
Call me naive. I don't know. I am very rose-colored glasses. I really enjoy my AI tools. I like them creatively. I like the way it's helping me manage my household and my life. It's definitely helping me renovate. My AI assistant is basically running my renovation. I don't know. Like, I'm not too worried. I've said this before, I'm very excited about the health advances and like I'm really pulling for a cure for MS, you know? I feel like I'm very rose colored. I'm not afraid of the robot takedown. Maybe I should be more afraid. What about you?
I'm very much on par with you, Revsy.
Yeah.
I embrace it. I'm very much of the, you can't beat them, join them. You know, it's happening whether
Can't
we
beat
like
the
it or not.
robots, join the robots.
Well, what is the resistance game? You know, like it's happening. It's like when iPhones came out and we didn't know what an app was and we're like, application? And next minute, all these innovations and inventions came about to make our life easier. I feel like with anything, AI arrived and there was this cultural freak out about it. And then we're like, oh, it's kind of not taking all of our jobs as quickly as we thought. There was a lot of fear-mongering language around AI, and so far AI has enhanced my life, made things easier for me, made me more organized, made me more efficient in terms of my work. So far, I've only reaped the benefits of AI. I'm yet to see the negatives.
Have you ever been into that part of ChatGPT where you can see its memory?
No.
And it gives you a summary of what it knows about you? It can be confronting.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Like obviously you go in the wrong hands. That's like, wow. You know, my entire identity, all my deepest, darkest fears and my shortcomings are like logged here.
Don't you reckon your ChatGPT history is a bit like your web search history? Like you just don't want anyone to see it. And there was a funny meme going around that was like, thank God there's no ChatGPT Wrapped, like the Spotify Wrapped, where it does like a summary. And then someone replied to that and said, I asked my ChatGPT to do a Spotify Wrapped for ChatGPT and it was thoroughly enjoyable.
Oh my God.
For me, it would be confronting, somewhat embarrassing.
Yeah.
I don't
You
need
spent 5,000 hours trying to get organized. Are you organized?
Nope. Also, I feel like it's a generational rite of passage to worry about these things,
People
you know?
freaked out when the car came in.
When
you
coloured
know?
TVs came in
Yeah.
and they're like, oh my God, they're going to zombie out with square eyes to the TV. They're not listening to the wireless anymore. It's kind of the same thing.
The
And
Industrial Revolution, we've been here before.
our kids are going to adapt with the technology. It's going to be integrated fully into their lives.
However, we are in the era of the like warlord fucking, you know, misogynist world leader. We don't trust the people in charge right now. So I understand and empathize with the fear because the people in charge are not very trustworthy right now, are they?
100p not.
And speaking of tech, here's a question that can come off as passag, but I'm not going to take it that way. Genuinely wonder what made you give your kids iPads and access to YouTube initially?
In the first place?
Yeah.
Ignorance and COVID.
I was going to say COVID for us too. It was survival.
Yeah, and when my kids started watching YouTube, they were on YouTube Kids and it was like silly little innocuous vegetable dancing, you know? There wasn't YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
They weren't interested in gaming or anything. So it was like literally wildlife videos and silly cartoons. Yeah.
Is this before the millions of dollars spent on trying to get it addictive?
I think YouTube was always addictive in my experience with my kids from the get-go. But again, I was in that survival era of parenting in the trenches. And for me, it was a godsend. It was a lifeline at the time. And I was like, great, this is crack for my kids. Like I have vivid memories of Rafa being an 8-month-old in a Bjorn bouncer. And the fastest way to cure her crying was to put on Dancing Vegetables.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, this is amazing.
Yeah.
If I needed a shower, I just quickly put her in the Bjorn in front of that and have a quick rinse, get it done. But yeah, I think it's when they get older, you start to get more of a conscience about it and you start to think a bit more intentionally about, oh, okay, what are they consuming? This is trash.
And see the effects of it.
Yeah.
But also data and information. Like we are the beneficiaries of now years of kids being on social media and YouTube, and now all those giants, technology giants and governing bodies are starting to crack down and make decisions in favor of kids' mental health and well-being.
Something that I've noticed, my kids don't have iPads and aren't allowed on YouTube, but they do have access to Netflix on the TV. And what I've noticed them doing is instead of selecting a TV show to watch, they'll watch all the ads for the TV
All the
shows.
trailers.
Yeah, all the trailers.
Yeah.
So it's a bit similar. And I'm like, oh, no, we're not watching ads. We're going to pick a show.
Yeah. But I just wouldn't be so shame-filled on yourself. And I think if you suddenly want to put boundaries around screen time, you can literally implement and
Any
start
day
it
of the week. Yeah.
anytime.
Yeah.
You don't need a reason. You don't need a milestone. I went cold turkey. I shared it on Instagram with my kids literally as an experiment. And I can't even begin to tell you how different their behavior was in terms of trying to get them out the door.
Yeah.
So I'm just here to enable you if you are YouTube cleansing curious.
Yeah. But if you're new to motherhood, like in the last 1 or 2 years, gather around the campfire and let us tell you about 2020 and 2021. It was a dark time and everyone was just trying to get through the day.
Okay, I've got a few questions for each of you.
Hit us.
Jem, do you miss any of your old business ventures? Photography, journals,
great
teaching,
question.
acting?
Yeah, do you know what? I have pangs of it. So Nikki Ledbetter was in town recently. She shot our show in London. She's one of Revs's dear old friends from her Scotland days. And I went for a beach walk with Nikki when she was in Sydney, and she had her camera and she asked me, do you miss photography? I actually started taking photos of her. It was like putting on an old cardigan. Like I slipped back into photographer Jem. Do you know what? I didn't realize that I missed it until she brought it up. So I guess my answer is I have pangs and moments and flashes of missing it, but nothing that sustains a feeling enough for me to go, I wish I was back there doing that. All I can do is come back to the fact that Revs and I have never been in a more aligned place with our creativity.
Yeah. And that's what Nikki's like as a photographer. Like having her here is reminding me exactly that. She is a true artist. Like she's not someone who learnt photography and is really good at it and has made a business out of it. She's actually an artist. Literally went to art school and is like, she just tells us story. She does something with photography that is like next level. She tells a story, you know, and that's her tool of trade, but she's doing so much more. And I feel like that's what we want to be like. And it's for her, she never gets sick of it. She never gets tired of it. She's only ever, because she loves it because it's so fundamentally like part of who she is, you know, and that's just her literal lens, but also her lens on the world is through a photographic lens, you know. So ours is more like me and Jem are quite obsessed with like what it means to be human or what it means to be a woman and why we all are the way we are and why we raise families this way and how come our kids turned out like that and why we are the product of our parents. Like we're very into that stuff, and then we're these, you know, unshakable creative urges. So the two come together in this like little universe we've managed to create, and it just feels kind of like, why else would we do anything else?
100p. Also, we're very busy at the pod, DL.
Very busy.
We've got big dreams, big goals. We're manifesting shit. Like, to be honest, I have not had time to think about missing old businesses. Also, they did their time.
Yeah.
And I loved every moment of it at that time. But onwards we march.
Yeah, just like imagine your job or what you do, whether you work in or out of the home in your day. Like, you know what it's like. You do one thing, then you race to the next thing, then you race, then you're into the car, then you're at pickup, and then you're off to futsal, and then you've got to get dinner on the table, and then you've got to get everyone to bed, and the dog needs to go to the vet, and your husband comes home, and you know, like we have that life too. That's our life, exactly that. We're just like yapping for the work portion.
All right, this one's for you, Revsy. Will Revs start dating again?
I have zero interest. Like, I cannot tell you how disinterested I am in dating. I'm definitely not through the heartbreak forest at all. Like, no, absolutely not. In fact, I was just, a couple of friends called me the other night and they were like having Christmas drinks at the pub, and they're like, we just found the hottest guy for you. And we showed him your photo and he's so keen and you're going to get a DM. And I was like, I was in my robe in the kitchen with my kids and we were like cooking dinner and I was like, nah. No thanks. Like, I'm just like, no thanks. I'm not interested at all.
You will see the wood from the trees and emerge from the forest.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, no, it's funny. I was saying to my stepmom last night, she's like, well, no, there'll be someone for you. And I find that really, I don't know, I'm like
your life isn't whole or complete unless you have that other person,
and
which
she
is nonsense.
didn't mean it that way, but I said exactly that. I said, it's almost like I'm fully complete as I am, and that's all right. And she's like, hell yeah. It's like we just, I find it interesting how much we are socialized into these things and how much we really want. But as I said, I'm still in heartbreak town. Like I'm nowhere near being like
DLs.
looking out.
I know, Revsy. Like the back of my hand, there will come a time. It's around the corner. It'll come. It's not now, but
Yeah.
it will come.
Yeah, right now the things taking up my time are my children and this, the potty universe and my cottage.
You're a heart on your sleeve, gal. You've got love to give.
Oh, yeah.
Just right now, you've got zero fucks and energy to put into another man.
Man.
Right, back to you, Jem.
Holla.
Why did Rafa move schools? It's a big decision. Good on you.
Couple of reasons. Did I ever share this on
No,
the pod?
I feel like you skated on
Did I
fast.
bypass
Not the whole story.
Not the whole story. I feel like enough times passed.
Yeah,
you can say.
it has. I feel like
Yeah.
I can share now. Look, I can put it into 3 very clear columns. We randomly bought a house and
Yep.
we moved suburbs. So we had an opportunity because we were in a different catchment to offer
Stay or
up,
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a new school. At that time, coincidentally, Rafa was having a really tricky time with her relationship with her teacher.
Yeah.
Now, I understand you can reframe it as a resilience building exercise. You're not always going to get a teacher who you connect and bond with. But at the time, she was 6
Yeah.
years old, and there was just some shit going on that I was like, this is actually quite harmful
Yeah.
to her.
And of course you could have gotten through the year, but there was an opportunity literally in front of you.
Yeah.
You were moving. It kind of all made sense.
Yeah, and it's, I had a number of friends who are like, oh, my kid had a teacher they didn't connect with. Like, she'll get someone better next year or
Yeah.
whatever who's better suited to her. And I was like, but 12 months in that tiny life is a significant amount of time. These are some formative years.
Yeah.
And I saw a completely different child. And not only that, Rafa's kindy teacher, who was Miss Honey, she was incredible, was a big fan of my daughter. She just saw herself in my kid and they had this really special bond. And even she was like, I don't recognize your child. And that's scary
Yeah.
and worrying. And I've shared before on the pod how Rafa was at a daycare that was not the right fit. And I moved her 6 months later and then her spark was back.
Yeah.
And we had the exact same experience moving her to a different school. Rafa, at the core of who she is, returned instantly. It was like a relief.
I think just a reminder as well, like every fucking thing with raising kids, some kids can cop a resilience building year where it's not quite right, but they'll rub along and it won't like affect them. And some kids have a lot of inputs and need a specific environment, and only you know what your kid needs. Like, I've got 2 kids where, yeah, one, it wouldn't make that much of a difference, and one, it significantly changes their day-to-day life, And
DLs, I cannot tell you how hard daily school refusal was.
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted you to imagine, like, put yourself in this position where every morning your kid is begging you not to go to school. Like, please, mummy, I don't want to go. Don't make me. And this is not my child.
Yeah.
And it was every fucking day. It was 5 days of the week. And then I'm bribing. And then I'm doing this morning dance, which was utterly exhausting. So that was one part. And then the third part, which I really haven't shared much on the pod, was she had a really tricky relationship with someone in her class.
Yeah.
There was some targeted behavior going on, and this person, unfortunately, was becoming a really negative influence on my child. This kid was eroding at my own kid's self-confidence. It was addressed with the other parent, but, the school have a policy where they will not move your kid to a different class to get them away from tricky behavior or tricky relationships. And I was like, okay, well, then I moved the kid.
Yeah.
I moved my kid.
Yeah.
And it was the best decision I ever made. So
No regrets.
no regrets. And I do want to say here on the pod, we gave Rafa the choice.
Yeah.
Literally took her on a tour of the other school. And what was wild to me was how willing she was to let go of her entire community that she knew to get a fresh start. And that spoke volumes. She didn't even hesitate.
Even school refusal, like, because there might be a lot of DLs who have been going through
Yeah.
school refusal for a long time. Like, it happens. I've got one kid where on and off, it can be a year of school refusal or more. And it comes in waves. Sometimes they're fine for a bit, then it comes back or whatever. But again, Rafa's personality, she doesn't refuse anything.
No.
And also add to that, Rafa's not it wasn't the school refusal of like, I don't want to go, oh, okay. And then in she goes and there was a bit of clinging or whatever. It's like Rafa's personality, she's a negotiator, she's high energy, and she was panicking. So there's different types of school refusal. And again, it was so not her personality. So it's you just can't blanket these rules over these things. It's kid by kid.
It's very nuanced. And I do want to say as well, DLs, as awful as that term 1 of year 1 was, I'm actually so grateful for it.
Yeah.
Because now I can have these honest and more mature conversations with Rafa, because she can chalk that term up as a real experience of the world.
Yeah.
And I've set her expectation to say, hey, just so you know, in the future, you might get another teacher that you don't connect with. Or when you grow up and get a job, you're going to work with people that you don't naturally gel with. But hey, you got through it.
Yeah.
And you've experienced it. You know what you need to do. You know how you can face it. You know how you can handle yourself in those situations, because she has the retrospective perspective on that experience. Even though I pulled her out, it was still 3 months of her existing in that world and learning to survive it. She got some tools out of it, genuinely.
We're also talking about potentially some neurodivergence that's not being treated in any other way. And so environmentally, you have to handle it.
100p.
All right, Revsy, we need an update on your 40 by 40.
Oh, I forgot. Well, I bought a house and I'm
That's
kind of
old
focused
news.
on that now. So. No, I've still got things on the list, but I don't know. I'm just sort of like, it's still there. I'm still ticking along. I'm very goal orientated, so I've always got some goals to tick. But yeah, I got a chunk done and it was amazing exercise. And I'll still aim to complete it.
Will you be working towards a 50 by 50?
At some stage. I'm not I was having this chat with my kids today. I don't like the idea of space, like as in the universe. I feel very upset to even think about how small we are. I find really big, expansive things too much. And I don't like a 10-year goal. It's too much for me. I have no idea who I will be in 5 years. Let alone 10. I feel like that's slowing down as I get older and mature, but like a 10-year goal to me is this is my personality, too far, because I would rather do a short-term goal and then move to the next stepping stone, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'll do a 50 by 50 for sure. Probably when I'm about 45, 46. It's my style.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm so excited to finally turn 40 so that I can feel comfortable
Starting a 50 by 50.
starting my 50 by 50, because
Totally.
DLs will know, like, we talked about the 40 by 40 when we were so close to the finish line. It made the window so narrow and so small to achieve all of these things that I'm loving reflecting on my 50 by 50. In fact, it's reminded me to tick off a few things, finesse some things. I don't feel married to the outcome of any of these things. For me, it's just
the experience.
It's all just dreaming.
Yeah.
That's what any sort of goal or planning or manifestation, whatever the fuck you want to call it, 50 by 50 list is. I feel agile, very agile within it. Like Hubs and I have revisited it and been like, oh, weirdly don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And we just cross it off and add new things to the list. But yeah, it's fun. It's really fun to dream. I enjoy doing it with my husband to set goals together.
If you want to do it, my advice would be do half big, half tiny little easily ticked off goals
100p.
to keep the momentum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because the little easily ticked off ones are fun because you go, hey, I just ticked something off my 40 by 40.
Yep.
And then you can really focus on the get back to New York or whatever. Get off interest only, the really hard big ones,
To be honest, coming up with 50 is quite an exhausting exercise.
Yeah.
But you will find that by 25, you'll come up with 25 things.
Yeah.
There'll be big things, and then you start scrounging around for little achievable goals.
Yeah.
It is quite a challenge to
Yeah.
come up with 50 things. But what I like is when you've exhausted the obvious things, then you start to get really creative.
Yeah, and you get into
with
the
your
good
list.
stuff.
You get into the good shit.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know what I love in the Facebook group, especially when you two brought out your initial episodes on 40 by 40, 50 by 50, everyone started putting up theirs.
Yeah.
And it was great inspiration for other DLs.
So many cool ideas.
Yeah. So jump into the Facebook group if you need some inspiration.
Totally.
DLs, I don't know if you know, there's a search tool in the We Don't Have Time for This Facebook group where you can literally search keywords and then it will curate a list. So even if you're looking for helpful bits of information about, do I have a third kid? If you write like third child, you'll get all the DLs posts and all the brilliant wisdom in the comments section.
For 2026, pick a vibe, a habit to pick up, and a habit to leave behind.
This is so you, Katie. Of course you picked this one.
Straight off instinct, my vibe is 0 fucks given.
Yeah, great. You're
Yeah.
ready. You're ready.
Yeah,
Come
I'm turning
join me.
40.
Come join me.
Yeah, so that's the vibe
Yep.
I want to lean into in 2026. Habit to gain.
Go on. Exercise.
Well, that's the boring, obvious answer, but then
What
it's
other
also the
habit
habit
is
to
there?
ditch. You know,
Ah!
like it's an all-in-one. So I'm trying to think more laterally.
I don't have a lot of habits I want to ditch. Can you help me? Do I have something I should ditch?
Lateness is something I want to ditch.
I thought you were telling me.
Yeah.
I'm like, am I late?
No, well, I mean,
Time management. That's not a habit. That's a whole way of life. Do you know what I mean? That's hard.
yeah, but there are tools you can put in place,
Yep.
you know, to help yourself.
Yep.
I'd love for you guys to weigh in on this. My vibe for 2026 is, I mean, if I could put it down to one word, it's enough.
Enough. As in enough.
No, as in you've got enough.
Oh, I
how
love
good.
that.
Yeah, like satisfied, like content.
Yep.
I don't need more of something.
Yep.
But then again, is that like anti-goal making? Is that preventing drive to move forwards and to progress?
Depends.
I think goal setting is different to grass is always greener mentality, which sometimes being content with I have enough, I think is mitigating away from grass is always greener mentality.
Okay.
I've never felt more content and full of gratitude for what I have, but at the same time, I can still be ambitious for wanting more for myself and my family in terms of cup filling shit. There's a difference, I feel. Do you feel like you're lacking in ambition? Do you feel like the two can't coexist? Is that what the issue is?
I just feel as though I'm distracted by wanting things that I don't actually need.
Like what?
Whether it's like stuff.
Yeah. I was going to say there's like wanting more things like holidays, clothes, I don't know, dinners out, like, you know, the like that stuff. And then
Or
there's
time.
it's more time. Well, then there's wanting more for yourself, which is
Yes.
like growth stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they're really different
Yeah, I
categories.
think so too.
Yeah. But I don't see one negative of leaning into I have enough. Like
Yeah.
I can't think of one negative. I don't think anything's going to stop you, Katie. You're an engine in motion.
Yeah, it's inbuilt.
That's personality.
So a habit to pick up and a habit to leave behind, they kind of play into one another. I want to leave behind my going to bed extremely late.
Oh, I should do that.
and
that's a
I want to
good
pick
one.
up getting up earlier.
Mate, I struggle to go to bed before midnight at the moment
no.
because there's just so much to do in the day, blah, blah, blah. And it's that bedtime procrastination revenge or whatever it's called. Bedtime revenge.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and I am tired. I'm dragging myself through that morning. But
Me too. Is there such thing as waking up in the morning refreshed? Because I didn't think that was possible.
It's so fleeting, but it happens to me every now and then. I get hit with this burst of energy and I always want to try and recapture it and I never can.
yeah, I feel
It's
like
lightning in a bottle.
the only time I ever wake up fully refreshed is when I'm like not eating sugar or not drinking. And like,
Okay, so
life's
you
too
know
short,
you
guys.
know the ingredients.
No, I don't want to
though.
give up that.
I'm not giving that up. Like, what's the point? What is the actual point if you give up all your fun stuff? Like, aren't we here to have fun at least? God.
So is that your habit to pick up, Rez?
Earlier bedtime? Yeah.
Do you actually want that?
No.
I feel like you don't. I think you like that time.
You know what? I'm going to say next because I don't have any habits I want to drop and none I want to pick up.
You are just perfect.
I'm just perfect just how I am.
Pick a vibe for 2026. Perfection.
Perfection. No, my vibe is peace.
Oh.
Yeah, 100%. That's my vibe. Peace. And I mean that in a quite a active way though. Like
calmness?
Like every choice gets funneled through, will this bring me peace or will this bring me stress?
Okay.
If it's going to bring me stress, but there's good stress. So it's like actually doing the live show brings me peace because I go, I'm living out my dream, you know.
And it comes with healthy amounts of stress.
Yeah,
and
even though
adrenaline.
it's like big work
Yeah.
time, whatever, it's still peace. It's still a peaceful space. I'm talking like, you know.
I think it's a bit more actually things that disrupt your peace.
yeah,
Like saying no to that.
saying no to things that take me away from peace and
Yeah.
joy. You know, don't fuck with my peace and joy.
Moving on with the same theme, ins and outs of 2026.
Oh, ins and outs. Haven't thought about. You know what? I'll think about this when I'm lying down between Christmas and New Year. But in is like. Yeah, I feel like everyone is collectively, we've had all those fucking planets in retrograde for all that time and there was chaos. Shit was going down. Shit was coming to a head all of November, right? Like
Right.
everyone I know, even people who are genuinely unflappable in life, was going through it in November, around me anyway. I feel like what is coming in is like, taking care of yourself, rejecting bullshit, designing a life that works for you, wearing what you want, you know, spending time with people who make you feel good. Like I feel like that zeitgeisty wise and culture wise is really in. Like it's like you do you, the vibe train, you know?
Yeah.
I know. And out is like people pleasing, obligatory things like masking, firstborn daughter energy, you know, like all that is going out. And looking after yourself is coming in a good way, I think.
I'm loving all the psychology behind that
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I can't think of many ins yet, but a really obvious out to me is not getting caught up on you're 40 now, you need to be doing this train. I know
yeah.
self-care is like really important, but I'm actually finding I'm entering into this new season of like geriatric care. Like we're aging, we want to live for a long time.
Geriatric care?
Yeah.
No, say it, call it something else.
Oh, right. What
Do
do we want to call
you mean
it?
longevity?
Well, no.
Or do you
I
mean
just
like we're geriatric now?
Well, all the health conversations around living longer, we're facing our mortality. This is what you need to do for a longer life. Like those
Okay.
were not conversations I had in
Longevity.
my 20s and 30s. Okay, longevity. Let's call it longevity. And I'm trying to not get caught up in the, I if I'm not doing that, then I'm not going to
Do you
have
mean
longevity.
the whole like weightlifting, weighted vest, protein,
Oh,
like, you know,
Cottage cheese.
of it all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
Creatine.
It's
Oh, yeah.
feeling fearmongery, and it's like I feel myself going, well, I need to do that.
Yeah.
Anytime I tell myself you need, like that's an alarm for some bullshit. And so I'm just wanting to strip back and go, hang on, Jem, you live a pretty balanced life. You're active. You're not lifting weights yet, but just don't get caught up in like, I got to do it, and I got to do it really well.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to kind of slowly introduce new things into my life.
Totally.
Bit by bit. DLs, I couldn't cook or create a meal. You know, like I reflect on 2025 and like,
Massive win.
you know, the other day it was a Monday, and because, you know, we're nearing the end of the year and it's that weird time where kids are so cooked at school, and I found myself on a Monday afternoon because my kids no longer had soccer, that other families were like, oh, I'm a boat without a rudder on a Monday afternoon too. My kids' extracurricular is wrapped up for the year too. So I had this random gathering of two other families and their kids, and I was like, guys, I'll cook a Marley spoon up for everyone for dinner.
Oh my
Who
God.
is she?
I would never have had the confidence to
Wow,
do
Jem.
that. And now I can just do that.
And you didn't even start the beginning of the year. This was like a halfway through the year
May.
thing. Yeah.
May energy.
June,
yeah.
yeah.
And then like I'm just really stoked with myself. So I think it's like incremental things. Like I slowly introduce things when I'm ready, because no one could have told 2024, Jem, you need to cook.
No, you would have felt overwhelmed and
Yeah.
like, that's not for me and I'll do
Exactly.
anything but. Yeah.
So, you know, as we start to enter this peri-menopause and menopause chat, because I feel like it's all our friends are talking
It's
about
everywhere.
at the moment.
Yeah, but that, like, look at that from another angle. We've never had so much information on women's health.
Yeah.
And I think people are excited that, like, finally it's being addressed. Like, what do women need to do? I was very excited to hear that ice baths not so good for women.
That's
You know?
right.
And I was like, great, because I wasn't doing them and I won't start.
That's what's out, guys. Ice baths.
Ice baths are out. But yeah, the weighted vest, weightlifting, weights, protein of it all.
What's the other? Is it keratin?
Yeah, no, creatine.
Creatine.
Keratin's for your hair.
Yeah.
Creatine's
All of
for your
that.
muscles.
Creatine, like all this terminology being thrown at me.
Yeah.
And
It's very personal for Jem. It's being thrown at me.
well, I guess it's because I'm
It's
like
around you and you're porous.
I am
Yeah.
very porous.
Yeah.
You got some FOMO.
Well, it's not even FOMO. It's just like it's fear mongering is the only word because
Yeah.
people are like, are you doing this? Are you doing that? You should be taking this. You should be doing. And then I go, should I? Okay, I guess I better. And it's like, hang on, Jem, in your own time, do your research,
Yeah.
find the products you like.
Totally.
You know, just don't make all these purchases and then do nothing with them.
I know, but people do. This is what people do, right? They find a thing and then it's like, you've got to know about this thing that's changed my life.
Look, I am one of those people. Let's be
Yes,
real. Like I
yes.
find
In other
shit- Yeah,
categories.
in other categories.
Yeah.
100p. But it's like school chat. You know, there's like panic around school chat. What
Yeah.
high school is your kid going to? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll work it
Why
out
we-
later,
I'll-
bro.
Yeah, I've got a kid in year 1.
Yeah.
I'll get there eventually.
Yep.
It's not going to be today or tomorrow.
Guys, we've run out of time, but I've got so many more questions to ask.
Ah, dear.
We have a lot of very fun content coming your way in the subscriber feed this
We
summer.
sure do. It's got to glow up for 2026 TLs. There's going to be so much juice to squeeze out
That's
of
right.
our more time episodes.
Exciting.
So you definitely want to be a subscriber. Guys, it's less than a bog standard cup of coffee. If you put almond milk or ice or extra shot, then you're rich.
You know my coffee is $10.50.
What? Is there solid
Okay,
gold in
we
there?
cannot end this episode
Why
until
is your
you.
coffee $10.50?
Yes, share and declare. What is your coffee
hang on,
order?
hang on. You don't drink coffee.
Iced matcha latte with almond milk and a half serving of honey.
And it's $10.50.
50. $10.50.
Well, we don't call that a coffee, first of all.
Oh, well, it's
It's a
delicious and it's got
smoothie.
caffeine in it,
It's a smoothie.
but it's my once a week treat.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, then
Well,
there
you
you
know,
go.
treat yourself.
My
Yeah.
coffee is $6.50, and I think that's pretty good because they can get up around the 8 mark.
Yeah, my
$6.50?
coffee was $8 this
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an iced mocha with a scoop of ice cream. $8.50.
Yours is a milkshake,
Again,
Jem.
not a coffee.
Yeah, 100p coffee.
Okay. All right. We love you, DLs.
Bye-bye.
Bye.